Hi, I'm Gerald Wessels, and I'd like to welcome you to my real estate channel. Today we're going to be talking about 4 things that's happening with our MLS service here in the area just south of Atlanta. Before I get into those 4 exciting things, though, I want to do a little bit of a disclaimer. I am not a broker. I am a real estate agent, and so before you take any of these as law, you might talk to your real estate agent or your local brokerage. But there are 4 things that I see happening, and every one of them are exciting to me. The first thing is, for the first time, we sort of have an official coming soon policy. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but in the past, coming soons were sort of a no-no, and I won't go into all the reason that it was. But now, if you want to have your property sort of out there where people can see it online, they can't actually go and view the house, but they can see it online, you can have a coming soon up to 21 days in advance of the house going live. Like I said, in the past that was sort of a no-no, but now you can actually do that, and it allows people to know that, hey, we better get ready because this house is going to be coming onto the market. I was talking to one of our leadership, and he said, just remember, you can't go active and then go coming soon, go active and go coming soon. Once you go active, you're active. And that's, of course, to give everybody a fair shot at buying that particular piece of property. The second thing that's exciting to me, because if you're in the business, you know that today really it's photos and videos that sell a house. Very seldom does somebody just drive by your house and say, oh, that's the one for me. In the past, there was a time where you could only have 24 photos on the Georgia MLS. Now, that was a bit stifling for some properties. Now, you're going to say, well, yeah, for a piece of land, maybe I don't need that many photos. My house is pretty simple. I don't need that many photos. But for some larger properties, it was a bit stifling. In fact, there was a competitor that talked about being able to put 36 photos on their particular website. So you'd put your 24 on the Georgia MLS, then you go somewhere else and put those other photos on there because you are going to expand the coverage of your particular piece of property. Well, now, I looked just this morning, you can put up to 85 photos of your property. Well, does a simple house or the typical piece of property need 85 photos? No. But there's a lot of properties that have outbuildings or maybe a pool or maybe a storage shed, or it's in a special community, and every one of those photos are needed and are exciting. So, hey, it's a great time to be able to expand the coverage of your particular piece of property, your listing. Now, the third thing that I'm excited about, not that I'm excited about writing them because it's always a challenge for me, but sort of the little ad that we do about your property. In the past, we could only have just, it seemed like to me, don't quote me, of course you're going to quote me, but you could have like 8 sentences, it seemed like to me, and you can tell I'm verbose. So it was really a handicap not to be able to write a lot about your particular piece of property. Everybody wants to know about your property before they actually go and see it. Well, as of today, you could have up to 4,000 characters. Wow, 4,000 characters. I've actually seen people have paragraphs. In the past, there were no paragraphs, there was just one. But now you could actually have paragraphs because you could really talk about that piece of property. And the fourth thing, because I'm sort of into photography, the fourth thing that I really am excited about, well, in fact, I was looking at a piece of property, and it was an expensive piece of property that was listed in Florida. It was right on the Gulf, and expensive piece of property. And the first picture was a twilight picture of the front. In fact, there were 5 twilight pictures before it even got to what we would call a normal real estate photograph. Well, in the past, we didn't really have that option. Now you can have a twilight picture as your primary picture. I read again this morning, it needs to be a frontal picture, and it needs to be light enough that people can see what the house actually looks like. But just think about it. If you're trying to sell a piece of property that's right on the Gulf, or you have this great pool set up, or if you have lights, whatever the exterior lighting is, just think about how important it might be to get the maximum value for your house by showing off that accent lighting. So just remember, there's at least four new things that's happening here in Georgia in the real estate world. Coming soon are right there, up to 85 photographs. We're going to be writing up to 4,000 characters on your wonderful piece of property. And finally, those twilight pictures. Now, we may not lead off with a twilight picture, but it's getting more and more important to include them. I'm Gerald Wessels. I'm the team leader with the Wessels Realty Team. I help people buy, sell, invest in residential and commercial real estate, and I'd love to help you.